So hello fellow Earthlings, this is Earthling 6455463728, and I was looking at YouTuber Chrisfix's videos. He did a video on replacing the hybrid battery for a Prius, and he did another one on replacing the gas tank for, I don't know what kind of car it was. It's like some kind of Rover or something, or SUV or something like that. And I have to say, the hybrid battery replacement that he did, oh my god, that looks so intimidating. The amount of nuts and bolts that he had to unscrew, and then he had to use a torque wrench to make sure that he was tightening stuff to the appropriate amount. Wow, oh my god, that looked so intimidating. But he was done in a really short period of time. And as he was saying, the car itself cost $1,500, battery cost $1,500, but he had a sale for $14,000. So he was going to make $1,000 on the repair. And he did it. I'm sure he has a lot of videos up. I never really checked to see how many he had. I think those are my two first videos that I'm looking at from him. But wow, he finished them in a short period of time, it looked like. I don't know if it was spread out over much of a period of time, but he seems like he's really knowledgeable and he knows what he's doing. So it's definitely a channel that anybody who is into cars, and even if you're not into cars, even if you just want a car, it's probably a good channel to look at. But wow, it's so intimidating. I remember when I was doing this washing machine that I might have spoken about, it had two problems, one after the other. The first problem was that it was not turning properly to spin, and I looked at a lot of videos to figure that one out. It was something called the clutch. It was a clutch that needed fixing, and that it didn't really look so bad. It was, of the reasons why it might not be turning, it was the one that I really didn't want to do. It was the most involved one, but it didn't really look that bad. And then as it turned out, the basin, like the big thing that the clothes sit in with the holes, that thing, after I repaired the clutch, apparently that thing, it got rusty where it holds on to the thing that's spinning, that the clutch turns, and it just separated and was free and started scraping along the sides of the plastic thing that it sits in, that holds the water in. And I was kind of compelled, even though I did not want any part of it, I was kind of compelled to go and do that repair, because then all the effort that I put into doing the repair for the clutch, that would have been wasted because this other thing went bad, So, whoa. But even looking, like I'm talking about Chrisfix and his stuff, I see that it's doable. I see that he did it, but oh my god, how intimidating it is the first time you look at the video to do it. And with respect to the washing machine, you were pretty much taking it down to the bare bones, like if you started with a foundation of a washing machine and you finally, that's where it was going straight down to that. And oh my god, I was so intimidated, just like I was looking at, I don't have a Prius and I don't have something that needs a gas tank to be repaired, but just looking at how much was involved in it reminded me of the washing machine. And what happened with the washing machine is that I told myself I needed to watch the video a number of times, and the more that I watched it, the more comfortable I would become with doing the repair. And yeah, that's what happened. I watched it, I don't know how many times I watched it, but every time I watched it, I felt a little less intimidated by what was necessary. I mean, I still needed to get the, I don't know what they call it, the thing that holds the clothes but has holes in it so the water can get out. I needed to find one of those. It was difficult to find. I wanted to get something that was local to where I am, so I didn't have to like order something and it was bad. And so I was just calling a whole bunch of different people, and I needed to get the person I eventually got it from was, you know, when you get frustrated and you can't find something and you ask the person, do you have any idea where I could get this, because you all don't have it. That's how I was able to find somebody who had one of those basins, or one of those bowls, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to call it a perforated bowl. So yeah, and even when I did get it, it wasn't the exact thing because it was for a different washing machine. And then it had a plastic thing that was attached around the rim. And when I put that into the washer, well, never mind, I'm talking about when I put it in, just to get the thing detached, you know, to get everything detached, I had to buy a special part to do that. Well, first off, I didn't want to buy the part. And, you know, I went on YouTube and they said it was easy. So I tried what they did, and that did not work at all. You were supposed to use one of those, something that you hammer. What is this called? Let's just call it like a pick or whatever it is. So you hammer using this thing on a couple of places where the attachment is screwed on, and it'll get loose, and then you just unscrew it with your hand, you know, and that's that. Well, that didn't work, not for high heaven. Then I went and I bought the part to unscrew the perforated basin, and it wasn't working either. It was deforming the thing that it was supposed to be unscrewing. So at some point it was just going to, like, you know, deform it so badly that it wouldn't be able to get it off at all. You know, like when you start destroying a screw that you're supposed to unscrew. And so that's what happened. In the end, I had to ask my mom to hold the thing. Well, I would hold it while she would pound on it, because I was trying to do it myself and it wasn't working. It just kept getting loose when I was using my one hand and a foot even to hold it down so that I could hammer on the thing that would start unscrewing it. But anyway, once that was loose, then I had to put the perforated basin in. But then when I needed to put everything back on top of it, I could not get it to close with the plastic thing that was attached to it, and I was afraid of taking it off. There was something around the edge of the top. In the end, there was no choice but to remove that, and thankfully it was fine. I guess there's a standard part that they use in many different washing machines. So, but anyway, back to Mr. Chrisfix. Basically, I figure if I had to do anything like that, I'd have to do the same thing. I'd have to watch the video a number of times in order for me to feel comfortable with taking on what looks to be such an alien task to anything that I had done before. And he uses, you know, ordinary tools, no specialized tools, so that's really great. So you don't have to end up buying something for like $15 and hoping that it's not a waste of an investment, because you can't take it back because it's deformed or whatever. But I really like his channel. I feel so stressed though looking at these things, and I'm wondering, is it really useful for me to look at his videos? Because on the one hand, I feel like, yeah, it's really useful to look at the videos, even though I don't have a repair like that to do. Maybe if I look at them regularly, when I do have something to do, I won't feel as stressed. And he's making money both ways. He has a YouTube channel with videos showing people to do stuff like what he's doing. And he's also making money by getting these things at a discount and repairing them and selling them to people. So, I mean, obviously it's not a killing that he's making. It kind of reminds me of Graham Stephan. I wonder if Graham Stephan is still modeling houses, well, still going after houses. I know, what's his name? Meet Kevin is probably still looking for wedge deals, as he says. But for Graham Stephan, anything besides making YouTube videos at this point is probably not worth his time to do. But and plus that, he says that, but I guess in order to keep himself from going crazy and doing the things that he wants to do anyway, even though the videos that have to do with real estate don't pay as much as what he says, they don't get as many views and so on, I'm sure there's a component of happiness for him in doing things like that. So it might be that even though it doesn't pay all this money, and this was another thing, he'd made a video about just going and making money while he can still make money on YouTube until he burns out. And I was like, why would you want to do that to yourself? He's saying like, yeah, at some point he'll stop and he'll go travel. I'm like, unless you put a limit and say, okay, I want to have a worth of 10 million, then I'll stop. You're never gonna do it. Reminds me of Joshua Fluke. I made a video about him yesterday, and he was talking about how that's one of the reasons that his girlfriend was dissatisfied with him, because he never wanted to take a trip anywhere. But at the same time, he was not intimidated, he was wary of dating any girls because they might just want them for the money. So I'm like, you have all this money that you're getting that you never had in your life before, but you can't enjoy it because you're afraid that you might wreck your business, I guess. And he's right. But if he's making so much money a month now, as he's saying, like, he might be making 3 times what somebody else makes in a year every month, then build up to a certain amount of money and then give yourself a break, because that's what life is for. It's not for hoarding a whole bunch of money and then sleeping on it like Scrooge McDuck. But anyway, I think Chrisfix's YouTube channel looks pretty good. I hope I have the stomach in me to watch it, because I just feel so tense, looking at all these screws that he has to undo and then remember. It's just, it's so hard. I'd planned to talk about the first time I had to fix something in my car, that I had to fix it because I didn't have the money to do it on my own. But I just went off in every other direction. Maybe I will talk about that at another date, another point. But really, that first one that I had to do, I didn't have a choice, because I didn't have any money, really. I didn't even know how I was eating. But I was, and it was really intimidating to do it, but I did it, and it worked. I was surprised, and I was proud of myself, but it's still stressful to feel like you might do something wrong and end up killing yourself. But anyway, guys, wish me lucks. You can like or unlike. You can comment and tell me why. You can subscribe if you'd like, and or share. Or you can do nothing. Peace.